Two. Thank you for taking this moment to breathe and listen to what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Sinikas. I'm the founder of Ladypreneur TV, How to Dominate the Decade Talks, World Women's Conference and Awards, the creator of Coral Desk, the coach of the Changemakers, and co-author for 3 soon-to-be launched books on entrepreneurship secrets. Thank you for joining us. Today, I have the honor to talk with Pix Jonasson, and she's actually from far away from us. She's from Australia, Sydney. So let me tell you a little about who she is. I have never seen, by the way, the word couragepreneur. So something which definitely caught my eye. So she's passionate, she's impactful, exciting, and that's Pix. So she's also overcoming significant life-threatening and life-altering challenges. She is an ever-positive, disciplined, focused, fun-loving, community-minded leader and entrepreneur. So she has learned from her childhood trauma and subsequent personal tragedies that your past does not define you or your future. Pix coaches others who are stuck in past issues of abuse, shame, guilt, anger, and emotional pain to break through and live a life of peace and purpose. So can you tell us a little, you mentioned a lot here that you have different types of courses available, you are a public speaker, and you do so much more. So I think I don't want to even take your words away. Your biography is so powerful, and I think you can deliver much with much greater passion than I could ever do. So tell us your story. Tell who you are.
Oh, who am I? Well, thank you. Firstly, thank you so much, Ragni, for this wonderful opportunity to be involved in this fabulous series of presentations and about dominating the decade. I'm a very passionate person about mindset, and I would love to share shortly about my tips for mindset. But who am I? I'm a woman, first and foremost, and I am a survivor of child sexual assault. And you touched on some of the life challenges or life learning lessons that I've had. I've overcome significant life-threatening challenges with car accidents and, faced bankruptcy, gone through a divorce. My nephew committed suicide. I nursed my dying parents. I've been in floods. So life has happened to me, but it's also happened for me. And I've maintained that positive mindset, Ragni. So when we're ready, I'm happy to share my tips about mindset.
So what was your aha moment when you thought that this is it?
That's a really good question. And it was actually, like I said, I've had 3 life-threatening car accidents, and that's not to impress anyone. That's just to say that's my life. Others tell me their life and I'll go, whoo, I'll keep with mine. But my aha moment was really the 3rd car accident, which was only 10 weeks after the 2nd. And sadly, the first one, my grandmother was killed when I was 7. The second one was when I was engaged and with my fiance, we hit a truck. First one, we hit a truck. And the 3rd one was 10 weeks later. I had a micro sleep because I was actually exhausted. I was recovering from the previous accident. I had that micro sleep, rolled the car, landed on the roof. A tree came down with me, and I was obviously conscious then. I kicked my way out of the car because I thought the petrol tank was on top, climbed up the embankment because I was down an embankment, and I didn't think, why did this happen to me? I thought, why did I survive this? I knew I was put on this planet to have, do, be, and give more. And it was that aha moment that it's like, and I've got goosebumps now, it's like, I have to give more. There's a reason these things have happened to me. And so here I am.
A lot of times when we tell our story, that we are also being asked, like, if you could change something, what that would be?
Oh, again, that's another really good question, because your past doesn't define you. I have lived in pity party of what has happened to me. Now, the more I learn about the brain and the mind, I'm grateful. I wouldn't like to go through it again, and I wouldn't wish what happened to me on anyone. However, like I said, it's happened to me. It's also happened for me. It's given me empathy to be able to teach and coach and train others and help them through their adversities. And if I didn't survive those challenges, I wouldn't have that really heartfelt empathy for others, both male and female.
So if we talk about, or I would love you to express a little more what you're doing, but also express us why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah, well, basically, when I was growing up, I was the youngest of 3 children. My sister sadly passed away due to alcoholism, and I still have my brother surviving. But we were brought up on communication. My dad said, if you haven't got communication, you haven't got anything. And I've always been very creative. So I love creating things, and I love being with people, and obviously I love communicating. And you opened with me being the couragepreneur. My maiden name was Cumming, and the family motto is the lion, courage. And then my dad used to work for Courage Breweries. So I have the courage to share my story and to speak and be the voice for others that can't or won't, Ragni.
So if someone wants to work with you, like what are the different types of let's say services that you provide, and how they can really get the courage or be a couragepreneur as well. So
well, I do offer coaching, obviously, and that is one-on-one coaching, and I am actually developing a one-to-many coaching module. That is actually for men, ex-Navy, that are survivors with PTSD. So that's a specific niche market. However, I do coach others that have survived trauma, because adversity and trauma are not a competition. Everybody on this whole planet has adversity that they've come through. So whilst they say not everyone is your target market, I'm more than willing to coach others that, resonate with me. So I have my coaching. I do have my upcoming book, Think and Get Rich After Hours, which is hopefully due out later this year. That's been a bit of a work in progress and a journey for me as well. So I've got those two. I also have an online health and wellness business, and it's just a phenomenal business, especially in these times. We order products online. They're all about healthy living inside and out. So that's another avenue that people can, partake of my services.
that's perfect. And if I would ask you, what would be the 3 recommendations how to dominate your decade? What would you say?
Yeah, first and foremost, you have to think right. You have to have that right mindset. I do believe there's glass half empty, glass half full. You have to keep topping up your tank, because we feed our tummies daily. If we have that fortunate opportunity, we need to feed our minds daily. The second thing, Ragni, is move, and physically move, but also take action. The time has never been right with what we're experiencing in these current circumstances to actually dominate the decade and take action. Find your passion. What really makes your heart sing. So work on your mindset, work on your ability to do something, and learn. There's just so much information out there to uncover what floats your boat and how you can help people. And thirdly, you have to eat right. I believe in the Pareto principle, which is 80-20 in life. However, I tend to eat better, like 90-10. I love the occasional cider, and I do eat chocolate and biscuits. However, predominantly, my life is healthy living. So think right, move right, and eat right.
Those are perfect. And basically all those things can be done now being at home. So you don't really need, even for moving, you can do plenty of moving even
Absolutely. And get creative, do bench dips at your office, your home office, get some tinned fruit, do some weights. It's very creative. Get a towel, do some stretches. So there is literally no excuse other than your mindset.
What do you think? You're also active in a real estate market. What do you think will be their changes, how this business sector will do business, or like currently, as we are all quarantined, I think most of the objects are actually show on virtual tours, or how this sector is doing?
Well, it's actually a new way of doing business in every industry at the moment. And real estate, have been an avid property investor, and basically it's going online. There's virtual tours. You know, real estate agents are still operating, albeit in a different capacity. They still have that ability to showcase properties online and virtual tours. I mean, we've been online for many, many years, and it's those that are most adaptable to change, especially in the real estate industry, are the ones that will survive. And if you're wanting to, as an investor, invest in a property in another state, or away from places you can't drive to, you need to be able to see that property, because you buy on the numbers, but you also buy on, you know, what you're seeing as well. So they have that ability to do virtual tours. And then obviously, you know, the power of Zoom or Skype or FaceTime, you can then have that e-face to e-face conversation with that real estate agent. Because for me, it's all about seeing the person, whether it be online or virtual, and getting a feel for that person.
And now the last question, which I will ask you, how do you see our lives 1 year from now? Like, what is going to be different, remain the same? How do you see, what do you see?
Great question. And I'm no clairvoyant, thanks Ragni, but it's a new way of doing business. It's certainly a new way of doing business now, but I see families reconnecting. They're shopping or ordering product together. They're cooking together. They're eating together. We have that time. And you really find out what's important in times such as these current circumstances. So I believe there will be more work from home. The planet's actually healing. China's got blue skies. There's dolphins in the water in Japan. Venice, you can see the canals. So the planet is actually healing. So what's that saying? I know that employers are going to have to adapt to change and have a new way of doing business. My daughter had that opportunity after 6 months to be able to work from home. She was only there about 3 months. Then she was forced to work from home. And that showed that they had to adapt to that new way of doing business. So whilst I realise we are socially isolated, we're certainly not socially disconnected. And I really encourage people to connect with others, ask if they're okay. But yeah, 12 months from now, it's going to be the new normal. Absolutely. And there'll be new businesses that have arisen because of this. You know, for an example, Ragni, there's a local brewing company that makes beer. They were making alcoholic sanitizer in their vats. You know, going from kind of less of a healthy product to very healthy. So you have to innovate and create. So it's going to be a new way of doing business. And even in the Depression, that's when more millionaires are made. So adapt to change, be present in the now, and work towards the future.
Beautiful words, absolutely encouraging, obviously, always saying the positive of every outcome. So I love you for that. So if anyone wants to contact you, how can they find you?
Yeah, well, the best way, I do have very outdated websites, Ragni. So the best way is via LinkedIn. And it's just under my name, Pix Jonasson. That's PixJonasson. I'm also very active on Facebook as well, and also on Instagram as well. And you know what? Surviving and dominating the decade, you have to have fun, guys. So I'm also on TikTok as hashtag the Pix Factor, and I absolutely love that. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, or TikTok.
Absolutely fantastic. So thank you everybody who you were watching. If you have any questions, recommendations, reach out to me, reach out to Pix. Obviously, you just heard how to contact her. Again, to remind you that we are here to serve you. Those talks are one, for sure, to inspire and motivate. But the other, on the other hand, it's also to really help you. So if you need help, don't be alone. Come help, reach out, and there's a lot of people which are watching, and you never know who can help you. And as we always say, each one reaches one. We are all in this together. So if
Mhm.
just changed one life today, we are very well off. And it might be you that we saved. But let us know so we can be better and do a better job to reach out the others. So if you found this interview or this content valuable for you, please send this to 5 of your friends. You know why 5? Because we become our conversations. And that means that we are meeting our 5 closest friends. So 1, look around very closely and think with whom you are surrounded.
Yes. Mm.
2, share this. So they can know about this information, they can apply this information to their lives, and maybe they know someone who would really benefit from everything that we just discussed. So thank you again. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for watching us. And Bix, thank you. I know it's very early in Australia and we are recording because otherwise it would be in the middle of the night for her. But thank you. And I think once this all is over, we are going to be so much better, so much stronger.
Stronger.
And
Absolutely.
much bigger and vision that we had before. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you and goodbye.